African.
Born in South Africa.
Hey, she's South African, yo swine! She's South African, yo massa! She's fucking South African. Bye.
Good morning, guys. Good morning. Once again, welcome to South Africa Lately, a channel where we discuss South African trending news. We do, however, grab here and there from international news when it is trending enough to be brought here. Face you see there is that of Chidimma Adetshina, who is a Nigerian girl who once participated in Miss SA. And the reason for that, she believed that she was a South African, quote unquote. She believed she was a South African because I refused to believe that she had no idea, that her mother didn't tell her when she was grown enough to know things about life. Anyway, we don't know whether she told her or she didn't. And then she had to pull out of that contest because it was discovered that her mother committed fraud, stolen somebody else's identity, and Chidimma was the beneficiary of that fraud. So for some reason, when that was discovered, somehow they managed to leave South Africa, and South Africans were losing it. How did they live with South African documents? And you know, it gets a bit tricky when someone has dual citizenship, because now it proves that she had dual citizenship because she's representing Nigeria now. And I don't know how this is going to impact her traveling. I don't know if this is going to have an impact at all, the South African ID and traveling documents being cancelled. I don't know. I highly doubt, because now Chidimma is living a best life as a gorgeous Nigerian girl that she is. You know, and someone in South Africa was a victim of this fraud. They couldn't live their lives the way they wanted to, the mother and the child, you see. So this is not a victimless crime. The crime has the victim. So today the Department of Home Affairs announced that they are cancelling their IDs and the traveling documents. But South Africans are not happy. They're saying the Department of Home Affairs is so incompetent, because there are a lot of things that we would like to see as South Africans happen, things that are not happening. So people are like, all the time when the minister is underperforming, the minister in this department are underperforming, they are going to pull out this Chidimma story. So anyway, let us see what the story about Chidimma says. Chidimma's ID and travel documents cancelled. South African Home Affairs Department has announced that they will be cancelling ID and travel documents of Chidimma Adetshina and her mother. This comes after the pair failed to meet the deadline, make representations as to why they should keep their South African national document. I think also they knew that they won't succeed in this, so they decided to sit it out. And they continued to say the department also informed Parliament Portfolio Committee that its completed investigation was handed to the Hawks. Chidimma, in her capacity and Miss Universe Nigeria, will be in Miss Mexico to take part in the Miss Universe pageant. No word on whether her mother is back in South Africa after traveling to Nigeria for Chidimma's crowning as Miss Universe Nigeria. You see, this is what I'm saying. Chidimma is living a life. She's already in Mexico living her best life. It shows a bit of incompetence on our side, that we are not serious about anything. Hence, we're seeing the Chinese being here, South Africa in numbers, illegal. Whoever wants to come to South Africa illegally, they are here and they're living their best lives. You see now, the cancellation of these documents, I don't see them having an impact on Chidimma's life. So also, it was said that this is the complaints of the people. They're saying if the Action SA member of Parliament didn't raise these questions about the investigation on this Chidimma issue, the Home Affairs wouldn't have done anything. They wouldn't have announced this. I don't know if that is true, because, you know, politics, they always come to mingle with issues that they shouldn't. But yeah, we are here now. I'd like you to hear what the MP has asked in that parliament.
And then there was once a question that we had asked, and this is just, a question I want to ask in relation to some of the cases that you're dealing with, particularly of fraud. We had raised this question to the minister regarding Chidimma Adetshina's mother having obtained her identification in South Africa fraudulently. I just want to get a sense from you, because when we asked the minister this question, in his reply, he had indicated that travel, particularly her ability to have traveled to Nigeria for that contest, the minister said that case was under investigation. Can you just can we get an update on the status of the initial investigation that was mentioned to the portfolio committee, and also what is the current status of the investigation into the mother's travel to Nigeria, and also where are the both of them, Chidimma and her mom, at the current moment? Thank you.
This is the face of the lady who was at the forefront of this battle, trying to expose that Chidimma was not a South African and her mother also had stolen someone's identity. She was dragged. A lot of things were said about her, especially coming from Nigeria. She was dragged a lot. I never saw much coming from Mozambique, much coming from any other countries, except mostly from Nigeria. Yes, there were South Africans who attacked her as well, because people never go to the same direction, even if they are from the country and the battle is for the country. So she wrote, had Lerato Ngobeni, Action SA MP, the Member of Parliament, did not ask for an update on the Chidimma Adetshina identity fraud investigation, the Home Affairs and useless Minister Leon Schreiber wouldn't have said anything, because the report they gave us had nothing about Chidimma Adetshina but mentioned every other investigation. Interesting. So this is the lady that was dragged up and down. I think she's so satisfied now that we are here. And she continues to say, I want to extend my gratitude to Mrs. Ngobeni for fearlessly being our throne in Home Affairs Parliamentary Committee, and thank you for fighting with us and for us, even when the useless Minister Leon Schreiber ignores Action SA many correspondents. So she's saying that if that minister of Action SA didn't ask this question to the Minister of Home Affairs or the Department of Home Affairs, this wouldn't have been announced, or maybe this action wouldn't have been taken. I don't know. And this one says, what's the use of Home Affairs cancelling Chidimma and her mother IDs and traveling documents? Because both her parents were in Nigeria despite being under criminal investigation by Home Affairs. She won rigged Miss Universe 2024 already to scammers. But what I'm saying is, no, this one is true. That Miss Nigeria, even if I was blind, I would say that, no, this one is rigged. It was rigged for Chidimma. But anyway, as long as Nigerians are happy, because the majority of Nigerians are happy that their girl has won and is representing them in Mexico, all the best to Chidimma. All the best. We wish her the best. So what I'm going to do right at the end of my commentary, I am going to put the clip of the Action SA MP so that you hear yourself what she asked and try and put it together what these ladies are saying that we wouldn't have seen this action, or wouldn't have had this from Minister Leon Schreiber, or even rather his department, should this lady have asked how far with the investigation on the Chidimma saga. So what do you think? Do you think Chidimma would be crowned Miss Universe, or she she won't make it, or will she participate? Most importantly, will she be able to participate with this case of fraud hanging over her head? Will they ignore it? Will the organizers ignore it? What would you want to see happen? I know Nigeria wants to see Chidimma succeed because she's representing them. I'm asking about South Africans now. What's your wish for Chidimma? For one, I've got no issues whether she wins or she loses. My heart, whenever I'm talking about Chidimma, I always think of the victims of this whole identity fraud saga. It's a different story when somebody commits fraud and they get their own ID directly from the Home Affairs through their fraudulent ways. But now when they take from somebody else, do you understand? Depriving someone else the chance to live their lives, the chance to see themselves, how they're handling their own lives. Because in South Africa, for you to move around and actually try and do something successfully, formally, you need that ID. You cannot just be existing in a vacuum. So what do you say? What do you think? Do you think Miss Universe should cancel Chidimma, or Chidimma should continue contesting with other girls because she's a child? In South Africa, it was said that you cannot be a beneficiary of someone's wrong because you were not there or you had nothing to do with it. So this is the story of Chidimma. Anyway, with that said, thank you for watching my videos. This is South Africa Lately, a channel where we discuss South African trending news. We do, however, grab here and there from international news when it is trending enough to be brought here. Do have a lovely morning.